Hey folks, Joe Bongiovanni here from Kettle Pond Institute for Debt-Free Money, and I'm making this video as a reply to SilverSoul 7, who jumped in with a video reply that I have to apologize to him and to anybody else that I didn't see his video response to our video. And if Pete did, he didn't tell me that it was there. I was just going to make a video, and when I opened up the page, there was his video, and so I don't want you to think that I've been ignoring you, because I won't. Okay, and I'll definitely get right back with you with your video. But I don't know what you think that you gain, by taking this, this posture against, against me, because I say I'm a progressive and you say, I'm not a progressive because I quote Milton Friedman as a monetarist. Okay, and there's something to Milton Friedman's monetarism. People should study Milton Friedman because Milton Friedman was of two. He went to the old Chicago school, the progressive Chicago school. He came out of there with a view of money, okay, that persisted until into the 50s, actually into the 60s, in which he was totally in favor of government issue of money. And whether government issue of money is a progressive issue or a liberal issue or a non-progressive issue, we should talk about what needs to happen going forward rather than trying to jump into some, there's my Bernie 88, if you can't see the Bernie 66, okay? So I have no problem with anybody that ever knows anything about me or whether I'm the progressive or not, because I am. I am the progressive, okay? And as far as my mantles, what do you want? You talked about cooperatives. Not only did I manage a $25 million cooperative venture myself, okay, but I was on the board of directors of the largest cooperative in this country, okay. The $250 million, largest cooperative in this country. So don't try to tell me anything about cooperatives or anything about, progressivism, because I've been to that school. That is my school. Okay. Now what we have to talk about is what is progressive and what is not progressive. And you say Emma Goldman over Teddy Roosevelt. Where's Emma Goldman's monetary policy? So let's just talk about the stuff, like when you try spouting about the difference between credit and money. I mean, let's try to be clear about what it is that's different and why it's different, why it's significant, why it matters to try to formulate something like a monetary system for the Occupy movement. Okay, something like a monetary system for the Occupy movement. And most of the things that you said, I have to tell you the truth, they really didn't make sense. Like, well, we don't differentiate between credit and money, or we have misunderstanding about credit and money. And then you tell me what credit is. Oh, it's what bank credit. Well, it serves as money. Well, it's in the M1 money supply. Well, what money supply isn't it in? So if we have a monetary system that's based on money, and then you call government money when somebody pays a check, none of that stuff really makes sense to anybody. Nobody really understands what exactly it is, the point that you're trying to make by making those kind of statements. So you have to talk about, now they say, I don't offer any anti-capitalist. Well, I'm not anti-capitalist, just so you know, okay? And if you think that a progressive cannot be not anti-capitalist, well, then you got to grow up, okay? You got to grow up, man, because capitalism just means, in the essence of true free market entrepreneurship, okay? It has nothing to do with money. It shouldn't have anything to do with money, and it has nothing to do with money. And in fact, the reason when Milton Friedman was attacked, by both liberals and Austrians for his position supporting the old Chicago school, Chicago plan proposal, he said, well, the first thing that you have to have in order for the free market entrepreneurship to work, and it's essential, is a level playing field. And the only way you can have a level playing field is if nobody controls the issuance of the purchasing power of the national medium of exchange, the national circulating medium. If anybody controls the issuance of the things that you talk about, bank credit, if anybody controls that, then they control the economy. Okay? Now, to me, that's anti-progressive. Have anybody control the issuance of purchasing power in the national economy is anti-progressive. Now, you tell me why it's not anti-progressive. Okay. Now you try to make a point about something about we don't do anything about the scarcity of money issue, scarcity of purchasing power issue. When of course we do. the issue that we address is the fact that in order for the economy to act upon its own volitions, which is what, see, you're saying, oh, we want it to act upon its own volitions. We don't have government intervention. We don't have government control of credit. There's no government control of credit. Where do you get that notion from? In the Kucinich bill. Where do you get that from? For anything I've ever said that there's a government control of credit, there's none. So that's a total construct of yours, okay? Because you've moved on, you know, from monetary reform, you know, to something else. I'm totally here to have this discussion with you. I want you to know that, okay? I want you to know that. But let's talk about it in terms of real things that really matter, okay? There's no control of any credit by the government whatsoever. All there is, the provision of adequate money in circulating into the bank accounts so that people can make the decisions about whether to have a loan or not to have a loan. Where's the government control of credit? Where's the government directing anything to do with credit, credit being the other side of debit, okay? Where is anything? There's nothing. So all these are just vacuous statements that you're making. And you know, the fact that, yeah, you can come out and make them and you can look pretty making them and sound like you're the really tough progressive guy, you know, and I'm the bourgeoisie, you know. I don't mind that, okay? I don't mind being called the bourgeoisie, but you got to show some stuff if you're going to maintain and persevere, you know, on that kind of a line of thought, because it's totally bogus. It's totally bogus. It says absolutely nothing. I'm trying to look at all the things. Scarcity of capital issue, the artificial scarcity of capital issue. That's the issue that we have right now, isn't it? Isn't it? How are we overcoming that? How are you overcoming that? We're talking about how we're overcoming it. We're going to put the money into circulation without any debt. You know, we're talking about that. What are you doing about it? That's what I want to know. What's your option? That's what I want to do. We're here on the corner. Situation is what it is. We're going forward. Why is your way better than my way? To me, if you're not willing to do that, then, you know, to me, then it just doesn't make sense. There's no issue about unsustainable interest because it circulates. It's a separate thing that deserves its own, you know, point of being addressed. You know, for some reason, the people that deny the problem of you know, identified by the social credit people, of the fact that we don't create the interest, they seem to think that banks are not businesses, and therefore, when banks get paid interest money and that circulates in the economy, is any different than any company getting any payment for any service that they provide continuing to circulate in the economy. It's not different. It's no different. Okay? It is what it is. But a debt denominated in the dollar that's created when a loan is created still exists. That still exists, and you have to have a dollar made in order to pay that debt. Velocity of money notwithstanding. What I mean by that, velocity of money notwithstanding, is that regardless of the velocity of money is a factor in determining how much money we need. But if you're going to issue the money as a debt, all that money that's created is a debt. It's created with interest, with the interest burden as a debt. That's real. That's a dollar-denominated debt. You have to have a dollar now to pay that interest. Okay? It's not like I lend you $20, you go to the store and lend that guy, you know, it's not like that chain. It's the chain that's related to the money supply and the debt. And it's, I totally, you know, shouldn't have even gotten into it, but that's what that is, you know. Maybe I should just, you know, ask you to explain what you mean when you clear a check, you use government money. You know, I mean, what does that mean? You know, there's no such thing in reality, okay, as government money as with regard to the national economy. There's no such thing. All money is private money. All money is created by the bankers. Okay? Centralization of credit. You know, I think I've talked about that. You know, there's no centralization of credit. There's no aspect of the government having anything to do with credit. Bourgeois progressive, pseudo-progressives like Joe, why do you resort to that kind of stuff? You know, why do you resort to that kind of stuff? I just want you to know, okay, I got plenty of people in the Occupy movement that are totally embracing what I'm talking about. So if you think you're going to win it, what you need to do is figure out how to win it. And I invite you to do it. And that's why when this goes out, and it's onto you, it goes onto my site, and all the people that are on my site that are part of the Occupy movement can see that we're talking about two different monetary systems. Well, where's your, it's like, well, we don't have to adopt a monetary system. Well, we don't have to adopt a monetary system. Well, we've all been there before, just so you know, okay? We thought we could do everything without having a monetary system, and we come to find out that we couldn't. So that's already out there. And as far as putting any more power to Big Brother, it's the total opposite. It's the total opposite. It's putting all the power in the hands of the people that have the money. All the government is doing is placing money into circulation. That's the supreme prerogative of government, according to Abraham Lincoln. And many others, and many other progressives, throughout the years. So it's like, why don't we just get off the progressive thing? Who's the pseudo progressive and who's the progressive, and let's just talk about how people are affected by money. What your plan is for overcoming the scarcity of money. Why that plan is superior to our plan, I think I'm going to leave it there, but with this caveat. If there's a purpose beyond your shooting me as the messenger for the progressive group that you're trying to somehow negate what I'm trying to do, why not just put it out there? This is why, okay? And it's, saying things about endogenous money creation means nothing. And I actually was gonna do a video about that, but and I've already done one. So why it's not important to us, but that's not the point. The fact is that you have to have a monetary system. Now, to me, the idea of progressives supporting a system where there's a private group that is empowered by the populists out there to create the purchasing power in the national economy, and that's a progressive idea or ideal, show me how that is progressive. Because you haven't even scratched the surface of what fractional reserve banking really is. Okay? Well, you say, well, it's imperfect because we still have the scarcity of perceived. Well, there is a real scarcity of capital, and you haven't said how you're going to fix it. So I'm here. I apologize that I've let all this time go by, because it obviously looks to me like it's been quite a bit of time, and Pete and I haven't been able to make any videos for technical reasons that we actually don't understand. But anyway, this is out there. Thanks.